Hi everyone, and welcome to the energy update from July 1st till 7th, 2024. So the first week of July. My name is Heike and I would like to share with you now what my guides told me for that week. The first topic I was given is nourish yourself. And the question they would like to ask us, they would like us to ask ourselves is, what nourishes you? And of course, yes, food is one thing, but it's also about people and activities. And maybe you would like to make a list and then compare this list to your life. Maybe take your agenda and see how much time and space there is for something that nourishes you and how much for things that don't. And you notice that something does not help or necessarily nourish you if you feel drained, tired, a little bit annoyed, moody, or just uninspired. Yeah, because something that nourishes us is something that gives us life. So life-giving, and this is obviously very, very important. So we're encouraged actually to see if there is enough nourishment in our life. And the guide said that because we're receiving continuously upgrades now in frequencies, and sometimes it can be quite challenging to keep up with that. It may change. For example, you may notice that you don't tolerate certain foods anymore, or that you find it hard to tolerate certain people's behavior, for example, or that you do not like anymore certain activities. I mean, we've had that before, but the thing is that yes, everything is changing constantly. Yes, we are changing constantly, but now it's changing at a speed, and we are changing at a speed sometimes that, well, you may have noticed that it's sometimes not easy to keep up with everything. So we really need, apart from rest and self-care, also have a look at our nourishment and if there is enough of it in our life. For example, asking yourself the question, is there enough room for laughter? In the past years, there was definitely not enough room. And also, what makes you laugh? Maybe you don't laugh about the jokes that you did, I don't know, a certain while ago, because you notice you don't find it funny anymore. Or maybe it's generally hard for you to find something that's funny in your environment or in your present life situation. So they would like to encourage us to really have a look at that and see if we can integrate more of it in our daily life. Also, they encourage us to look at our home and to acknowledge how we feel. Do you really feel at home in your home? Or are there certain spaces that you dislike? Then maybe it's time to see what you can do to make them more homey. Maybe it's time to do a little decluttering, or to just sort through your stuff to see what you have, what you like, what you don't like. Or sometimes it's only helpful to, you may not necessarily need to declutter because you may be, I don't know, quite minimalist anyway, or just have what you need and what you like, but then to just change furniture around, or find a new way of organizing things, and then you feel better, or it's more practical and therefore a better energy. Yes, so just have a look, or maybe you do a smudging ceremony or something like that, to just see if you can create a different energy or get some fresh flowers. The next topic I got was allow yourself to feel. And the guides were very precise and very insistent on this one because they said, are you really allowing yourself the full palette of emotions, or are there certain feelings, certain emotions that you do not like to feel and therefore that you are avoiding? And they would really like you to be honest with yourself and to have a closer look. Because I've heard a phrase that came back into my mind, and they said, yes, come on, that's what we need. Or the magic that you are seeking is in the work that you are avoiding. And they said yes, and it's the same with your emotions, because you are really avoiding this work because of emotions. So what are those emotions you dislike? And why do you dislike them? Or why are you not allowing yourself to feel them? It's human to feel the whole palette. For example, I had a friend who told me, I'm envious and I find it hard to admit because I don't want to be envious. I know that everyone has enough in their life and that no one has an easy life. So why am I jealous? And I just said, okay, is there anything that you are admiring? And then yes, the answer was yes, I do admire. And then I was given some examples, and then I said, well, can you not live with the admiration and then see this envy as something positive because you acknowledge you're admiring something? And as we know, envy means that there is some unlived potential within yourself, and that's the part of the admiration which makes it go to the negative side, that you're asking yourself, why can I not do this? And yeah, that's the thing, why can't you? Why don't you? Why don't you try? So yeah, and actually there are many feelings that we may not like necessarily, but that we can use productively. For example, rage is a high, very high energy, and you could use that for hard work and then be proud of yourself that you did it. And maybe then you see this rage in a different way. Of course, don't misuse it or abuse it, like setting yourself under fire each time you need to do something. Yeah, there are some examples in my environment, and of course that's not a healthy way to approach life. So just make sure that you allow yourself to feel your emotions and to be honest about them, so you can unleash their hidden potential, because they have a lot of potential. The guides also said these changes that you make in like changing those emotions into something that you can use for your daily life, that gives you a totally different experience and also helps you to not anymore avoid or being afraid of certain emotions. And of course, that's very important and very healthy. We are humans, we cannot always feel positive, and it's not meant to be like that, because otherwise we could not distinguish and discern between what we like and dislike, and that's actually what's important to make our choices. So try to not, or to judge less. That was their message, actually, to not judge the emotions but to really feel them and to transform, to use them in a positive way. Feeling your emotions, especially when you're sensitive, is of course not helpful in every environment. So where can you be authentic, and where do you feel or think you have to be like diplomatic? And of course we can be diplomatic, meaning like wearing a mask. Okay, this is my workplace and I can't talk about this and this and this and this. Okay, so you shut your mouth. But the thing is, how do you feel about that? Yeah, and how does that make you feel about the work? And if you notice at some point that you just can't tolerate that more, we had quite a few cases with this during the last years, then just, you know, it's really important that you're honest with yourself and, okay, yes, you may need this work because it gives you a certain income, but being honest is the first step to making changes and to be able to find a different workplace where you can earn your money and be yourself, and therefore be more healthy, because that's just so important. And also the guide said, if you notice that you are not in touch with your emotions or not enough, because maybe you had a time where you needed to just get through this. Yeah, sometimes it's like we just have to put our emotions aside, we feel, and to deal with them later. It's just so important that later is not becoming never, because we know dormant emotions can make you sick or really cause dis-ease. So it's important to deal with them. So if you feel like you're out of sync or you can't get to it, spend some time near water. And of course, in nature would be ideal. If that isn't possible, maybe you want to go swimming or take a bath if you can, or a shower, yes. But of course, in nature, if you can look onto a lake or a river, or, well, the sea, the ocean is fantastic. It's always connecting you to your emotional side. That really helps. Okay, so the message from the masters, was about journaling. And they said, or they asked me to show you my efforts, yes. So I have a book, always a different one. This is the current one, and I have a special pen only for journaling. And I'm not journaling every day, being very sincere. I would like to do that, but it's just not happening. But when I notice I really need to get something off, whatever it is, I'm writing down what I'm doing, yes, also. It's not only about my feelings or emotions or what I learned, but it's also about that. Lots of reflections, lots of emotions. That's what I'm writing down. And therefore, and then I have I write with dates, and I have a register at the end of my book where I write down the dates and something that was important. For example, if I had a certain insight or revelation, or I got a message, whatever it was that's important to me and helping me to get to know myself better, and also to see where I'm headed more and where I'm coming from, what my evolution is, yes. So then I can always, and I put little hints so I know, okay, you can go back to that date and just see what it was, what this kind of experience was, what the insight was, whatever. And that really helps me to, as I'm saying, to get to know myself better, to see where I'm headed, to see where I'm coming from, how my evolution is. And also sometimes in the energy updates we have a certain date, like, okay, now we have a full moon energy and it's the new moon from whatever, half a year ago or something. And then I can look at that and see, okay, what was my issue then, or my issues, what was I working on, and what are the results? Presently, I do not do that regularly, but in the past, I did it and it was very helpful. So I was really thinking about, okay, you need to start doing that again. But at the end of each week, you may have noticed I'm writing week reviews on Instagram, but also quite regularly actually. But also what I like doing very, very much is to go back in my diary or my journal and read through the last week when it's done, when I'm done. And it's so interesting because especially now where everything is so fast, I can really see there is a difference in how I feel with myself and what it feels to be myself. And that's also something that the guides were about with these allowing yourself to feel. What does it feel like to be you? And do you like to be you? Or is there anything that's bothering you that you want to change? So, you know, with journaling, it's a great tool to reflect back on that. Yeah, so you can really, you can help yourself so much with that. Okay, so this was it for this week. I thank you very, very much for your patience and for your attention. And of course, if this helps you, please help all of us on Instagram and on Feel Good Workout Heike Bartels, so that the guides get their knowledge out and can help us, all of us, more. There is no other way. It's just all about you subscribing, commenting, liking, you know, the YouTube game. But that's what we need to make this more available, and that's actually what I would be so happy about. Lots and lots of love, and I see you for the next week's update.